Good evening, Canada. We are once again back with a new episode of Voice of Canada. I'm your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla. My co-host is Cindy Young.
Pleasure being here.
Our dynamic guest is Patricia Pollack. And our show is produced by Awaz TV Entertainment. Welcome to our show, my dear friend, a 10-year-old friend who I've known you. So please introduce at the same time. You are the author of a book. Tell us about your book.
Yes, so my name is Patricia Pollack, and I am an author, speaker, coach. And I wrote a book called Manifest the Life You Want, the Donald Trump Way. He did it, you can too. It is not a political book. It is a manifestation book.
Beautiful.
And it's a book based on what can happen when you truly believe in yourself and how the universe conspires to support you.
We will be displaying your book after the break in front of near the flag.
Okay.
So people can know, okay, yes, you are the real author.
Okay, thank you.
I saw the book is in the purse.
Yes.
So we'll put it after the break.
Okay.
Cindy, go ahead.
Patricia, very special welcome to Voice of Canada this evening, and hosted by Asphandiar Wadiwalla, and I'm Cindy Young. I'm your co-host today. Patricia, if you could inform us and our viewers of Voice of Canada, at what age you immigrated to Canada?
So I came to Canada at the age of 3 with my mother and my father.
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah, more a Canadian. I wouldn't want to say any other nation or any country background, maybe your parents, but you are my Canadian beauty.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
Patricia, inform our viewers all about
Can you say that to the camera?
Yeah. Patricia, inform our viewers of Voice of Canada all about your early basic education and later in life, how you became a professional.
Sure. So when I first moved to Canada with my parents, they are immigrants and they worked very hard. And so since I was an only child, they put me in a private boarding school
Wow.
in Richmond.
Still the only child only?
No, I have a, since
Now
then
you
I
have got
have
okay. Good.
Since then, I now have a beautiful sibling sister.
Lovely.
We're 10 years apart. And
Lovely.
back then, yeah, I was the only child.
But you must be looking like same because you're so petite.
Yes. My parents know how to have beautiful children.
Patricia, if you could inform our viewers and us of your specialized field of work and what kind of services you provide to children, and in what way you coach their parents as well with your expertise.
Okay, so I work with parents with children with special needs, children who have medically fragile situations, whether it's...
You mean the autism also?
Yeah,
Children with
autism.
Awesome. ADHD.
Physical disabilities, mental disabilities.
That you are a woman of interest.
Amazing.
Yes, I am.
That's
But
a very important job.
I work mainly with the parents. of the children.
You coach the parents, what you stated.
I coach the parents. So I coach the parents that they can have a life beyond the circumstances.
How to handle the child, special child.
And that everything doesn't have to be about the child 100%. That you have to carve out some time for yourself to love yourself.
Absolutely.
So that you
and how to handle the child as a normal life. Because I've seen lots of autism children, they became normal with the growing of the age.
Yes.
And let you know that my daughter is a PhD in autism and ADHD.
Wow.
So that's why I'm so familiar with these two words, because she has done about 3,000 brain scanning of the autism children at the sick kid hospital.
Yes.
And she just now also deals with those kids from hospitals. Currently, she's working for the Ministry of Child Welfare.
Yes.
So such cases, when the questions and cases come, she has to deal with those.
Yes. But unfortunately, when those children age out of sick kids, there isn't anywhere for those young adults to go to.
True.
Yes, getting the services to help and support them and their families is very difficult.
Correct.
Yes,
okay, Patricia, inform us and our viewers in detail about your immediate family, your children, your parents, your other brothers, sisters, some more relatives here in Canada, so we know the composition of your family.
Yeah, so that is my immediate family, my mother, my father, and my
your
sister. I do have some aunts and
uncles,
but not too many.
Because there is a huge population of Jamaica over here.
Yes.
They are permanently, they are in Canada,
Yes.
and they are doing very well.
Yes.
Good.
Patricia, on a lighter note, if you can inform us if you're a party girl on the weekend and what are some of the things
Sure.
that you do and spend your time on weekends and
Sorry, this is
holidays.
informal interview.
Okay.
We all party.
That's
Huh?
right.
And Canadians, they party. There's nothing harmful in being a party girl.
Right. So I never typically liked the name party girl. I believe that in life you need to have a balance. And I love to dance and I love to learn.
So that is all enjoyment.
No, yeah.
We all enjoy. We can, because we work so hard, Patricia. The actual is after working so hard, we need to remove the tensions
Yes.
Absolutely.
and get some relaxation.
Yeah.
So we always work hard, play hard.
Sure. And I love to learn new styles of
Yeah.
dances too, like ballroom and salsa.
Oh.
Then
and
we are
reggae.
soon sending you
That's
to a
right.
professional school,
Yes.
and you will bless me.
Yes.
It's very nearby, and you can go and she always has every month some parties
Yes.
also. And next party I'll
We'll
take
have
you.
to talk.
I'm always there,
Awesome.
so I'll take you, and you will really love it. Once
Yeah.
you're introduced, and which class your aptitude is, you can learn it.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
She has got about 15, 20 types of dances, all Caribbean, Latinos.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Ballet, everything.
And then
She teaches.
maybe I can compete with a partner.
You can compete, or you can compete with the
Absolutely.
partner, or later on, if you excel and you become a professional, you can even hold your own class
Yes.
with your students.
You will absolutely
So
love it.
why
So
not?
much fun.
You know, so she has got all the different teachers of different dances teaching from hour to hour, hour to hour.
I love it.
So I will definitely introduce you, take you the most probably in March only. I think she's having one party in March.
Yes, March 11th, I
Yeah.
believe.
So I will definitely
Yeah.
let you know on phone, and we will go for that event.
Sure.
And you will enjoy, because to go for an event and to go for the classes, it will be different.
Yes.
Yeah.
To meet everybody, students, see the performances,
Yes.
and that's how you will be able to make up your mind.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And we
Absolutely.
can celebrate this interview
Definitely.
on the dance floor.
I'll be there to dance with you.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Patricia, if you can please define your objectives for the work services that you do for stressed children, and also you coach parents and those children. Give us some, if you can give us some details on that for our valued viewers.
Yeah, so parents with children with disabilities often get stuck in a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And regardless of the circumstances, these parents will always need help for
Definitely.
their children.
But they are lucky
Yes.
in Canada. Our government does so much.
Yeah.
Facilities wise and many things wise, even their schooling wise, transportation wise,
Still a
spatial
struggle.
care. But its struggle is there.
Yeah.
But still, our Canadian children with autism and all that, they are much better than other countries of the rest of the world.
Yeah. Well, I beg to differ because I used to live in the U.S.
Mhm.
I used to live in New York City.
Now, we are not talking about the giants, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the third world countries and the Caribbean and all. If you have a child of autism or anything, parents is solely responsible.
Yes.
Nobody takes the responsibility. Even they don't admit that child in the school.
Yes.
That's a stigma attached to it.
Yes.
Here we don't have. We try to improve them. And I've seen many kids in my life who have become normal.
Yes. Yeah. So while that's definitely possible, there's a huge subset of other families and parents who are suffering greatly
Yes.
and that
very
are on waiting
challenged.
list,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
they're just desperately looking for some resources
Definitely.
and some
Support.
services.
Maximum they
and
get.
support.
And parents have to do also
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
There are difficulties. I see that often the mothers and the parents of such children are protesting outside Queen's Park.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's for the supports.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Exactly.
Patricia.
So you might have seen me there a few
Oh,
years
no,
ago.
I didn't see
I
because
was there.
you
I was
must be
there.
there because I believe me, after seeing you for 10 years, your features had gone faint.
No, I was there. I was up in the last row
Oh, wow,
in
wow.
Parliament.
Wow. Next
Yes.
time I'll look for you. So Patricia, as you are a young girl, dynamic girl, do you love traveling, and where all you have traveled?
Oh, I love traveling. I have traveled to Hawaii, where I have swam.
Wow, that's my only wish to go.
I've swam with the sharks. I've been to the
Yeah.
Bahamas, where I swam with the dolphins.
That is done in Jamaica too. I've done all this stuff
Yes.
in Jamaica.
But just
Ochoreos.
because I'm from there, I don't have to do everything there, right?
That's why I can't forget Ochoreos of
Yes.
Jamaica.
But they do have nice beaches.
Yes, they have fantastic beaches.
Yeah.
I've been hang gliding in Brazil over the Jesus statue.
Nice.
So
What a
many
great
things. I've done the
experience.
polar bear dips here in Toronto,
Mhm.
Canada, and -0 temperatures.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um,
And the people are warm-hearted and hospitable.
yes, and horseback riding in Jamaica,
Beautiful, beautiful.
in the sea, in the ocean, at the beach. Yes,
It's a
I love
lovely
to
island.
travel.
Experiences.
Your parents' country of origin is really beautiful.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I love Jamaica.
yes.
If anybody asks me, especially the Negril Beach, the 7-mile wide long
Yes.
beach, and even the Caribbean Sea is beautiful.
Absolutely.
Montego Bay has got rocks.
Yes.
It's a little risky, but Negril, you can have beautiful life over there.
Yes.
Every morning I used to go for water scooter,
Oh, nice, beautiful.
Oh,
and then even for parasailing
Yes.
with the balloon and all.
Yes.
just
So
feeling
it was
that sun.
That's a relaxing sport. The
And believe me,
parasailing. This-
and the temperature usually is between the best temperatures at 26, 28, touches 30 even.
right.
And that's the best
I'll take that.
temperature for Canadians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And parasailing is like singing,
Paras-
like
yeah,
being in the
yeah,
swing
it's
in the
so-
sky.
Yeah,
Like
And,
God.
and especially when
Yeah.
you see the whole of Negril from top, it's so beautiful because
peaceful.
even when you see down into the Caribbean Sea, sometimes the dolphins are jumping.
Yes.
Oh,
There are dolphins
amazing
too.
experience.
Yeah, in Negril.
Yeah.
So that is the beauty of Negril. Okay,
Yes.
why I say okay,
I'll have to put that
anybody
on my
wants
list.
to go, I say go to Negril. That's why we made our base as Negril. From Montego Bay we used to go by a vehicle road to Negril, have our event in Negril, but we used to venture out up to Ochoreos and even to Kingston. But for Kingston, we used to fly from Montego Bay
Yes.
because shortage of time.
Yeah.
So we used to go in the morning, call on the Prime Minister, and come back in the evening, return flight.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
And I'm sure the hospitality was
Oh,
great.
the great
Oh, I can imagine.
hospitality, and then even
And the food.
and
What
the
about the
food.
the food, though, yummy. You won't believe,
A violent-
especially at breakfast, also special Jamaican dishes were served.
Yes.
That fish,
Yes.
and then you all make a small bread, breakfast bread
Yes.
in Jamaica.
Oh, my
dumplings.
goodness.
Fried
Dumplings, dumplings. And then the seafood is ample. Okay, when you're sitting at the patio of any resort, the fisherman comes and shows you the lobsters, the crabs, and
Oh,
all.
wow.
Okay, sir, buy it. The chef will make for you.
And you get to pick and choose which
And
one
Pick and
you would
choose
like.
too.
Which one?
No, no, not this one. This
No,
one.
this
No,
one.
no, no, this one.
And then
Amazing.
every second day or every day, you witness a destination wedding
Yes.
in Jamaica.
Oh, of course.
That is also fun. Then I can't remember every sunset we used to have a fire,
Yes.
campfire
Oh,
on the beach.
Yeah.
And if you want to have a very special dinner, you can even arrange dipping your feet into the water, and they will put a table for you,
Some
there's a
candles. Some
couple.
candles.
candle,
You have a nice
music,
dinner right
and,
in the
and
water.
a guy playing the violin, and dinner is being served
Makes
to
me
you.
want a vacation
Very
right now.
Believe me,
romantic. Very
very,
romantic.
very romantic. If you are a romantic
Oh.
person, go to
Go
Jamaica.
to Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Take it.
Oh, amazing.
So we will be taking a short break and we'll be returning soon. After our short break, your host Asphandiar Wadiwalla, co-host Cindy Young, for Voice of Canada, along with our distinguished, beautiful lady, charming Patricia Pollack.
Yes.
Welcome back after the break. Patricia, tell us about, as you're so vocal in so many issues which takes place in our province and in our city and in GTHA, because you treat the special children, ADHD and autism. So is the current provincial government is on the right track?
Where the children are concerned?
Anybody, all overall policies are on right track.
No.
So just talk about it, because we have got so many issues now coming up, especially the health system has broken. Then the children, then there is a conflict in education.
Oh.
Then we have got heavy shortages of doctors, nurses. So whatever you want to throw the light on, whatever important problems of the provinces, just
Yeah.
do it quickly.
So it seems like the old paradigms are
Crumbling,
crumbling.
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
good word.
Yeah, it's the old paradigms are crumbling, and it seems to be like there needs to be a new awakening coming about. Whereas people used to rely a lot on the medical systems, but now those systems
It's
have
broken.
broken down.
Breaking
It's
down.
broken
Yes.
and the people are suffering.
Yeah, it's broken, and it's been broken for quite
For a
some
long
time.
Quite some time, and after
Right.
the pandemic, it has
It just
become
totally
worse.
breaking
Right.
point, yeah.
And so after the pandemic, mental health was under the surface, but right now it's very much
above the
on-
surface.
Above the
Yeah.
surface.
Above the surface, then at the same time, after the pandemic, the major issue of domestic violence
Yes.
has come up.
Mm.
Even only in GTHA,
Yes.
we have confirmed figures that about over 12 to 14 housewives were murdered
Yes.
by their own partners,
Yes.
partners or hubbies or whatever you call them,
Yes.
due to the tension of pandemic and other issues, domestic issues.
Right. And then there was another dynamic with the pandemic. The world watched like George Floyd being
Yeah.
killed.
Killed. That was a
Lot-
very wrong time.
Yeah.
Right.
That was,
So-
but it was well protested,
Yeah.
and he has given his life, but he has opened up and waken up the people.
Yeah, because everybody was at a
And
standstill.
after that, the
And to
slogan
be-
"Black Lives
You stirred
Matters."
it up.
Right. And after that, so much has come out of that.
Mhm.
Patricia, you should join a Canadian politics. So next election, try to think about seriously.
Yeah, Canada's not ready for me.
No, Canada
Canada's
will
not ready
absorb
for
you.
me.
We are very, very very
Canada needs
multicultural, and we have always we have taken anybody who is capable.
Yeah.
And you're a Canadian.
Yes. Yes.
You're here since 3 years,
Yeah.
so it is purely a Canadian.
Yeah. But I have very little tolerance for the bullshit.
No, but no
So,
problem. That is
this-
your
you know, so
prerogative.
the-
That is your prerogative, and it's a good point. I would say it's a positive point.
Yes.
Keep it up. Don't give up, and keep fighting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So, Patricia, now that we're back to work after the long pandemic that we've all gone through with more than 2 years, how do you utilize your time with your knowledge of serving children, women, and of course their parents?
So during the pandemic?
So now after that, we're kind of getting back into work, kind of getting out. So what are some of the supports that you give them now? And
Right. So for myself, I never stopped working the
Okay.
entire time.
Uh-huh.
Because I know that within the law of the universe, what you do now is what creates your tomorrow.
sure.
So 3 years ago when the pandemic hit, I continued to work. So
You work from home?
Yeah.
Ah, so
So
that's
then
so beautiful. That was very,
Yeah.
very
They just
capable.
kept it going.
Rather work from home, as it's a new trend now.
Yeah.
Many are working from home now.
Yeah. But I had always been working.
You have always been working for you. It was not a new thing.
Right. And then I would have consultations, etc., in the community or office buildings, whatever.
Beautiful.
Whatever the need was at the time. So it was easy for me to transition either way.
Patricia, let's talk about inflation.
Yeah.
After the pandemic, the major worries and problems nowadays is inflation.
Yes.
And the bank rates have increased 8th time from 22 to currently up to last month.
Yes.
So it's not been easy on Canadians.
Yes.
You know, I speak to people because I'm a people's person. I also take part in the food bank collections and all. So I even meet the people who come to take food from there. And our food banks are overwhelmed. We don't have stocks. We are begging and we are asking people to donate generously because it has increased more than 45 to 50% the demand.
Yes.
Because there are such Canadians from the middle class, they say as soon as the third week starts, we have no money left to buy food. So we come and take help and assistance from our food bank, and we put food on the table because the mortgages have gone high. The people who are on rent, the rents have gone high. The inflation has caused even the daily food items have gone high. Dairy products have gone high. How to manage? Do you have any idea how to remove this issue?
Well, I think Canadians have to take some type of responsibility as well, right? When the government was giving out subsidies.
Oh my God, everybody took.
Yeah, everybody took the subsidies, and when they took the subsidies, they were supposed to pay their mortgages or their rents, and they didn't, right? They won.
They enjoyed, they partied.
Yeah.
I know people who partied also.
Yeah.
From those are your words, right?
I'm
So
using
don't
the
call
word,
me,
right
guys.
word. No.
Call-
That you know, there were cases which was brought to light, and I also saw from the media report and press reports.
Right. So we have to take a look at that
You
too.
have to be responsible
Right? Yeah, you have to be responsible. You have to take some type of ownership. You cannot just keep
in difficult times.
Yeah, you just can't keep blaming the government to do this,
Definitely.
do that,
That's
right?
right.
Because we are very compassionate people, Canadians, you know.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean we have to take our government for granted.
Right.
They did maximum.
Yeah. So
Yep.
people did home renovations. They went into second and third homes that they couldn't have
Yes.
afforded in the first place
Yeah.
had there not been a subsidy.
And the birth rate increased tremendously.
Well, hey.
That means our Canadians are full-hearted people, full-spirited people. So they did show some performance of staying at home. A positive growth to Canada.
They were listening to instructions. They were following the rules. Stay at home.
See,
Stay
we
at
are
home.
enjoying our interview with you with humor and some reality too.
Yes,
That's
yes,
very
yes, yes.
true. Patricia, would you like to throw some light on our federal government policies, as you are a political conscious person?
We just spoke about the provincial policies.
Right.
So
and
would you like to talk about the federal, because another party is ruling the federal government?
Right.
Okay. So what specifically?
Anything, whatever you feel, are they in the right track? They should continue, or we need a change? That's a question to you. Come on.
Well, change is always good,
Mhm.
but it's always good to stick to the evil you know,
Mhm.
right? And at the end of the day, we all have to take some type of individual responsibility.
True, very true.
Right?
Absolutely.
So until we change from the inside, nothing gets changed from the outside. Because when you keep asking governments, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, they cannot be blackmailed. And they have shown us that they cannot be blackmailed. When they got rid of the nurses, they got rid of the doctors, they closed
Teachers.
the teachers, they closed some of the hospitals. And now, look, people are at home and they're barely managing, if at all managing.
And there is a heavy shortage of manpower in so many fields.
Exactly.
They are not getting professional manpowers.
Yes. And that's because people have gotten comfortable with saying, oh, the government.
Overcomfortable,
The government.
I would say.
Yeah, the government. But the government cannot be blackmailed. So if we don't rally together in terms of a community first, it can only get worse.
During the last quarter, during the weekends, we had to even close down few emergency centers
Yes.
Yes.
and various towns, cities,
It's happening
for
often.
staff. Because the staff has burnt out
Yeah,
during pandemic.
Absolutely.
People have been burnt out, and people have lost their near and dear ones.
Yes.
The seniors have suffered, the veterans have suffered. At the same time, we had the influx of refugees
Yes.
from Afghanistan,
Yes.
from Ukraine.
Yes.
So it was overall a big burden. And you see majority of 70% of the refugees, they enter Ontario.
Yeah. And yet the Canadian government doesn't want to bring back the nurses and doctors who refused the vaccination.
That's the appeal
And they
to
should bring them back
bring
at the
them
very
back,
least.
or those who are qualified from back home,
Yeah.
they should be fast-tracked.
Yes.
The red tape should be reduced. They should be regularized. And if they are qualified to work, they should be allowed to work
Right.
on a fast-track basis, keeping in view the capabilities.
Yeah. But I'm not too sure about the fast track because, educations are different wherever
I don't know,
you
but
are.
to
So-
qualify the credentials from certain countries,
And not
it takes
all-
2 years.
Yeah, and not even that. It's not all medical equipment.
Absolutely.
Everyone can manage those types.
No,
or
they should be trained.
Or even read the
They
scans,
should be
right?
trained, and if they are capable,
Yeah.
they should be put into use.
Yes.
Because those people who have come, who have studied, who have become doctors, they are running taxis. They are working at Tim Hortons. They are
Yes.
working at McDonald's.
Yes.
So it's not a good thing.
Yeah,
because
it's not very practical.
it's not very practical, and it's a humiliation to the person who has done his MBBS, came to Canada to see better life, and is not being given a chance to prove his capability.
Yes.
So give them a chance to prove. If they are worthy, if they can deliver goods, if they can serve Canadians, good. If they don't, fire them.
Yeah, sure.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. Patricia, as you're a very vibrant person in your life, what other recreation activities do you undertake in your life to keep you fit and healthy?
Okay, so I love salsa dancing.
Wow,
I love
wow.
ballroom dancing.
I love to see you performing salsa, bachata,
merengue, the
and that
cha-cha-cha.
famous Jamaican dance also.
Yeah, dancehall music.
Yeah.
Reggaeton,
Yeah.
samba.
Oh my goodness.
No, soon we will make you perfect. Introduce you to the professional school
Yes.
of all these dances because we are connected to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they often have to even come and perform here. Even Argentine tango.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've
Beautiful
done.
dance. Yes.
I've recorded the Argentine
Yes.
tango.
I've been to Argentina too.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Did you do the tango?
Yeah, I did the tango and I did the bath systems on the circular system with hot, cold, the Biden across the
It's a
mountain.
beautiful dance.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Argentine tango,
Yeah.
though, my God, I love. I recorded twice, and even once I even sponsored their show at one event,
Okay.
and they perform because the
Nice.
couple who performs, you know who I'm talking about from the same dance. So they came and performed very well, and then even the lady was my co-host too for 2-3 shows, but she works in Toronto.
Mhm.
So that's why my time doesn't match with her.
Got it. And I love a 20-minute walk, like I was saying before.
And you do workouts daily?
No, just a 20-minute walk.
20-minute
No, I don't
walk.
do any
all you need.
weightlifting or anything like that.
That's
no.
the secret of your beauty.
Oh,
You
thank
keep you
you.
slim and fit.
Thank you. And lots of water,
Lots of water. Lovely, lovely.
alkaline.
Can we talk more about inflation? Because that is a very, very hot topic
Sure.
nowadays in all household. You are also aware that the bank interest rate is 4.5%.
Mhm.
And that is becoming really, really tough. There are families here in Mississauga, Brampton, and the region of Peel and Halton who have come up to the neck. They can't pay their mortgages after staying for nearly 15 years, 20 years. Now they can't pay the mortgages and they are bent upon selling their houses.
So
it's
why
not
didn't
fair.
Yeah, so why didn't those people lock in the mortgages when they were lower?
No, now though it is they did
Before.
not lock in or whatever their mistakes they did. But
Yeah.
currently, with the current rise, they cannot afford to pay because each and everything has gone very expensive,
Yeah.
and they have got families and to manage and other expenses, fixed expenses. What I mean. So our government should really look into it.
We also have the ones that are renewing their mortgage.
Yes.
And so after, they've reached their maturity and now they have to
And-
renew it. And now the interest rate's right up.
And there is still a scare that on March 8th, they are
It's gonna
going
be up again.
They are going to
Yes.
review. No, they said
Yeah,
we will
yeah.
review. Are we going to retain it or we are going to increase another 0.25%? If that happens, it's going to kill us.
Yeah.
The other reason of inflation is that our dollar has gone really, really down.
Yes.
Today it is 1.34 to 35 as compared to US.
But you know what's interesting? When COVID first started and the rates were high and the gas were high and the groceries were high, even then, 3 years ago, people were saying, oh my God,
I
it's
can't
so
do
hot.
this."
I can't do this. It's too much. And now, and then I used to tell them, well, breathe, be calm, because this is just the beginning. It's not even the worst. So like 3 years ago, people were complaining. So now 3 years later, to me,
But Patricia, the
it's
thing is,
like-
Canada is not a manufacturing country.
and that's the problem. We need to bring those
produce
jobs
90,
back.
yes,
Absolutely.
90% of the products we import.
Yes.
And now that imported products are costing high. I
Yes.
give you a very simple example that year ago, I used to buy a Sensodyne toothpaste
Yes.
at 5.78, 5.79 per tube. Today, the Sensodyne is available for 7.49.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we're
Just,
not producing anything.
Yeah, just compare the tin of Ovaltine, which we drink from our childhood, which we used to. I used to buy it for $13, $14, the huge big tin.
Yes.
Now it is $30.
Yes.
So it is all double and tripled.
Yes.
How we are going to manage?
I don't know. Maybe we have to bring back some of these jobs, like what Donald Trump had wanted to do from the get-go.
Do you
Right.
think that Donald Trump will be given a ticket to fight the next year's election?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I am also
Absolutely.
one of the Trump supporters. I've come under heavy firing
Yeah,
from
me
my
too,
well-wishers
me too.
and all
Let's-
because I always supported him, and I like the First Lady a lot. I was the admirer of the First Lady, Mrs. Trump. You know, and if she
Ivanka?
would have survived, I would have
Yes.
brought her to Canada.
Yes.
You know?
So it's not so much that I am a Trumpster per se, but I mean, he has really good thoughts, you know, and there was nothing wrong with reevaluating the trade agreements with China and with India and taking a whole another look at that. And there was nothing wrong with, you know, trying to contain the people within the countries and see.
And he was the bold guy.
Who's coming
He
in
even
and out,
went and
right?
met the North Korean leader. Nobody dares to even meet the North Korean leader.
Right.
He even opened in dialogue. He had 2 meetings with the North Korean leader.
Right. And when he was talking with Russia, all was well. There was no signs
No
of
conflict or
there was
anything.
zero conflict.
Or no balloon diplomacy was going on.
Yeah. So like, so obviously he has something to contribute in the narrative. And that something is the fact that he is not a politician. He is a businessman.
Yes.
And that's completely different, right? Business to business is different, and politics is a black hole.
It's
And
everywhere.
business, you know, you have a deal.
Let's go.
You
Let's
have a
go,
handshake.
Patricia.
Yeah.
But time is showing me that
Okay,
we have
sure.
to soon complete. So go ahead with Cindy with question number 17.
Patricia, as you're aware, also aware that the crime against people of color and visible communities like our Muslim group and our Jewish people are up subject to attacks. What are the reasons for this kind of discrimination that's going on since they've been here in Canada for a long time? And how do we curb that hatred?
Well, when it comes to the hatred, it's like it's almost like when you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result, you don't get a different result. You get the same result. And so while things have come along to a certain point, I think it's time that we revamp that look and feel of how that used to look and feel like. I feel like we're in the era of now where we can co-create with other cultures and other dynamics and the universe, source, spirit, God, and not be in such fear over the old story. Because when we keep bringing up the old story, we get more of the old story.
But Canada, Patricia, is the largest multicultural community in the world.
Right.
Our Ministry of Citizenship is the biggest in the world.
Yes.
Let me give you some info.
Yes.
And we have got about 181 or 185 nationalities
Yes.
residing in Canada. No other countries have got so many nationalities. From nook and corner of the world,
Yes.
we have the people
It's a melting
based
pot.
Yeah.
That's right.
So there shouldn't be hatred because majority of the communities, they live at peace, they grow their families, and they are prosperous.
Yes.
You know, Canada is a very, very promising land, and it's a promise to everyone, whoever is a Canadian,
Yes.
that their rights will be guaranteed.
Yeah. So there's always racism and there's always white privilege, but we can transcend beyond that.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
we can transcend beyond
Just
it.
bringing that awareness and the, you know, and getting the education out there and expanding how you think and how you do things and how you say things and all of those things just make a difference.
Absolutely.
And Patricia, do you think we should have some police reforms? Because our police reforms have gone to very old. Since a long time, the reforms have not come into place. The demographics have changed completely of all the cities. Our population has bursted, you know, in every city. So crime has definitely risen and our laws are weak.
Yeah, and then like, you know, with police reform, I mean, not many people are signing up for this position anymore. Number one.
Because they're scared of their life.
Yeah.
So many policemen were killed. You see only this year also, last year also.
Right, and they are human beings and they have
And they're
families.
serving us.
Yes.
They have families and they're serving us. So reform is, you know, one tiny piece of it, you know.
It's a very large.
Yeah.
No, they should overall examine
Yeah, they need,
where,
the
which
whole
areas
thing needs to be revamped.
revamp and which
Right.
areas, and they should have more resources rather,
And more just
more manpower.
no, and
the
more
police.
of a psychological assessment, real psychological
And they
assessment.
should stop storing the cases in cold storages. That's the general practice of our police in region of Peel.
Right.
For petty crimes, They will just store your case in the cold storage and say, okay, go to the insurance and they will.
Well, that's because they don't have the manpower.
Manpower, but they
Yeah.
should investigate.
Yeah.
That is really, really demotivating the victims
Yes.
who are suffering the losses. Go ahead.
But we as individuals can try and live with kindness amongst each other.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the key.
That would help. And if, like, even though I have a negative thought against Cindy, maybe I can check in with myself and say, you know what? I don't know Cindy. Maybe
How can I judge her?
Yeah, how can I judge her?
That's true.
Maybe I can just give Cindy the benefit of the doubt.
Our people have
Right?
become very, very
Yes.
judgmental,
Yeah.
due
So,
to which more differences and hatred creates.
yes.
Yeah.
And so I would like each and every one of us to take more ownership of the level
Directions,
of judgment.
judgment
Right?
and directions.
Yeah. And let's just, take this on a community collective level. Because there's no reason for anyone to be fearful of me just because my shade is a little bit darker than yours.
Absolutely.
No, that's a natural thing.
My
God-
blood is red, your
No,
blood is red.
And we are all
You know,
Canadians. Basically, we are all Canadians.
A higher power wakes you
Patricia,
up every morning. A higher power
It
wakes
doesn't
me up
make
every
that
morning.
difference,
Yeah.
Shouldn't make
Exactly.
difference.
So if we can all work on each other and take more ownership of what's going on
Definitely.
individually, I think
Okay.
we would be
Couldn't
much
agree
better
more.
off.
Absolutely.
Come on, 90.
So Patricia, just due to the paucity of time, we'll soon be signing off from this episode of Voice of Canada. With you, would you like to give your advice?
Concluding remarks, comments, advice.
Okay. So you've asked a lot of great
No,
questions.
we'll be continuing this year. By the end of this year, we'll get you back.
Yeah.
And God willing, you will come again because you have got lots of matter to discuss, and we could hardly discuss many things from your bio and what you wrote to us.
Yes. So I would like to say that there's been many topics discussed today, but what it all boils down to is our subconscious mind and our belief systems, right? So if we can get a handle of our subconscious mind, which is 95%, and our conscious mind is only 5% of awareness,
Wow.
but it's 95% that's running everything.
Yes.
So if we can get in touch with who we are on the 95%, things will be much better.
Much better.
Very well said.
With that note, advice and note and comments from Patricia, we would be ending our show soon. We will be back next week with a brand new guest. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, your co-host, Cindy, saying goodbye, good night, God bless Canada, and adios. Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.